Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys take on Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved? Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself a...
It got his man complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Extra point just does sneak over the bar, and it's now a 7-0 game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains. And
he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And Jeffrey's got it. And out across midfield down to the 45. This is Ajayi. And an alley to run. Got some real estate inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this will be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now Wentz on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Prescott, that fights him off. Being chased out left. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Prescott. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He had the touchdown catch on the last drive. Now he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was third down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The former first-round pick, Dayton Jones, getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them the lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A second down throw for Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a 1st down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play? That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Chris Long in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that's still definitely hurt.
And he's going to go down again. Brandon Graham in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this week. And the pressure gets to him again. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Prescott from the gun. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Eagles defense able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Powell into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Prescott now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Definitely worth taking in our deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. To throw is Prescott, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now, and the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th. On his progression, just trying to find